Welcome to today. I am Natalie and this is my home. Thank you and welcome into my home. Let's get into those bodies today. We're going to work on just stretching everything from head to toe. I have a few props out today. Grab some items that will assist you in not creating any stress or tension so you can relax into these stretches. So thank you so much for joining me today. Let's start by rolling those shoulders up, back, and down. Join me standing on your mat, maybe feet wider than hip distance width. Starting by pulling those quads away from those knees, but keep a soft bend in those knees. Pulling up through those abdominals, start to lengthen your spine in both directions. And breathe. Today I just invite you to breathe through these motions, these stretches. When it feels good, start to reverse. And roll up, back, and down again. Breathing. Awesome. And then let's start just by bouncing. Bouncing is a great way to reset our system as well as pulling those shoulders away from your ears. So I'm very aware of what today is. Whenever you watch this video, whether it's here, now, in the future, today can bring up a lot of things, a lot of emotions, memories maybe from the past. So a good way to bring those shoulders away from their ears is bounce around. I invite you to honor whatever you're feeling in this moment. Shake out those arms, shake out those legs. Bounce from side to side. Wiggle out your head, wiggle out those ankles. And roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And before we get into those necks, we're going to do a little bit of soft traction. So fire on those abdominals. I'll stand sideways. Make sure that you have room to forward fold. So roll those shoulders up, back, and down. And let's inhale, looking up slightly. And as you exhale, super bendy knees. And then I just want you to inhale, coming up halfway. Lengthen your spine in both directions. Fire on those abdominals. And then exhale, bend, and hang here. Give your head a gentle shake, a gentle nod. Firing on the abdominals by engaging them. Shake your head yes, shake it no. Motorboat your lips. Wiggle your jaw. Maybe you grab opposite elbows or arms and just gently rock back and forth. Getting into those hammies as well as the ankles. And maybe your neck needs a little bit more. Be mindful of how your body responds to everything we do today. You can interlace those hands. You can take them to the back of your head. Maybe using your thumbs to massage your neck. Drawing the elbows close to the ears. And just hang here. Now, if that doesn't feel good, I invite you to just gently shake your head, gently nod it. Maybe you're doing that rocking and back, rocking forward and back and side to side motion. Take it here how you want. A few more breaths. And release those fingertips to the mat. gentle shake, a gentle nod, press into those heels, roll yourself all the way up, and take your time. Roll shoulders up, back, and down. Shake out your body again, bounce it a few more times. Shake it out, shake out your head. And bring those toes right underneath those hip bones. Maybe a lift of the corners of your mouth. Inhale that right arm up. And exhale, hinge to that left side. Really opening through that right bicep, armpit, all the way down to that right heel. And returning back up. And do that a few more times with your own breath. And one more time, meet me nice and bent over to that left side. Head is heavy like a bowling ball. Fire on the abdominals, navel to spine. Roll round forward. And then bring your trunk so it's right over those thighs. Hang here for a second. Shake out your head. Nod your head, wiggle jaw. And roll it up. Firing those abdominals on as you roll it up. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left arm up. And then exhale, hinge. Rolling that left shoulder back. Head is heavy like a bowling ball. And do that a few more times with your own breath. I also invite you, if there's any stretch that your body is really loving, stay there. Even if I've moved on, this workout, this stretch is all about you. One more time and meet me and stay here, really opening up. Head is heavy. Roll through the shoulders, round through the shoulders. Core is engaged. Bring that trunk right over those thighs. Head is heavy. Arms are heavy. Dangle your arms, as a matter of fact. And roll it up. Beautiful. Let's widen those feet just a tad. Let's point that tailbone towards the floor. Roll shoulders up, back, and down. And let's just look right and left. Sometimes stretching or doing yoga or that kind of thing can bring up emotions that are stored in the body. You're safe to feel them. You're safe in your own environment. Allow them to flow so they don't get stuck in your body because they hurt. I'm a good example. And return back to center and gently drop your chin, drawing shoulder blades together. Breathing, wiggle those fingertips, wiggle those toes, check in with your tailbone as it pointed towards the floor. Now, I would like you to move your chin to your right armpit and then your left, creating that smile on the front of your body. Today, that movement is not available to me, so I'm just gently shaking and breathing. Picture gravity really pulling those shoulders away from your ears, drawing shoulders together. Return back to the center. Inhale, looking up slightly. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale up. Exhale, chin to chest. A gentle shake, a gentle nod. And roll everything up. Take your time. Soft bend in your knees, tailbone towards the floor, shoulder blades together. And let's do our twist. And take this twist how you would like, how it feels good in your body. And then start to slow down all the way. And return back to the center. Roll those shoulders up. Keep that wide stance in your leg. And let's do that pelvic tilt. We'll do more of this laying down on the floor. But let's do it standing up. Soft bend in your knees, but keeping your spine in alignment. And let's move on to adding that circle. But I'd like you to start out really tiny, like the tiniest little circle. Your pelvic floor is lifted. Reverse. Beautiful. And then side to side, even more bend in your knees. And then step those feet in closer and just take a knee circle, starting to warm up those ankles as well. Go both directions. My core is engaged here. I'm also thinking of my spine, my alignment, my chin. But for me, I'm doing it because I still have some achiness in my neck. And then roll it up. Pedal through those feet. Pedal. Rolling all the way to the toes. Thank you so much for joining me today for a soft, gentle stretch. Felt like self-care day today. And let's roll through that right ankle. Feel free to use the wall or a chair or a spouse maybe. And the other side. Breathing, sighing, all the things. Shake out those legs. And then I want you to cross this right foot over the left. And I'm actually have my toes curled under. Yep. And I'm going to just gently bend my knees. Should be no pain in your knees. If there is, please back away. Just stretching the top of that foot. Since we rolled through the foot, let's do the other side. The top. And switch. So crossing the left over the right. And just a gentle bend. Ooh, I saw my shoulders creep up. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. And release, shake it out. And then I want you to bring your left foot right behind your right. So you're on this really skinny, like line plane. And then just bend your knees, getting a stretch in that back of the Achilles. Even here, be mindful of your abdominals, your spine, shoulders, roll them up, back, and down. Beautiful. Let's switch that out, bringing that right foot behind. Core engage, bend both knees, stretching into that right Achilles. And coming back up, shake it out. And let's widen those feet fairly wide. Pulling up through those abdominals, roll shoulders up, back, and down, hinging from the hips. As you see, I'm widening my legs, so I'm just going to hinge, bending that right leg. Let's get into those adductors. And we're going to take a soft movement. So we're going to inhale, coming back up, exhale, bend the other side. And move with your breath. So my toes are pointing forward. Protect your lower back by pulling on those abdominals, not only your navel, but your pelvic floor, and keeping energy coming out top and bottom of your spine. So keep everything engaged. I'm gazing right in front of me. I'm not looking up. You know what to do, just moving softly side to side. And one more round, right and left, please. And then return, standing back up, arms out into a T. Lengthen in both directions, being pulled in both directions, being pulled by tailbone, crown of your head, your arms, your legs, hands to your waist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge halfway. Pressing hips up, pulling quads away from knees. And now exhale, bend knees, bringing fingertips or hands to the floor or to blocks. I want you to place that right hand underneath your head, bringing your left hand to your back, your lower back, and let's just twist to that left side, rolling that left shoulder back. Core engaged. And return that left hand back to the mat, replacing the left with the right, bringing the right hand to your lower back, to your sacrum, and a gentle twist to that right side. And return back to the center, repeating that with your own breath one more time. Twisting left and then twisting right. So I'd like to keep this kind of passive. If it does feel good, you can lengthen that left arm up, but I'm keeping mine on my sacrum. I'm looking up with my eyes. I'm rolling that left shoulder back. And then I return back to the center, returning my left hand. With my right. Twisting. Just make sure you do both sides. I might have said the wrong side just now. I don't know. One more breath. And then return back to the center. Breathing. Walking those hands out in front of you. Press those hips up. And right here, yes, this is a hamstring stretch, but what I would like you to do is engage your core, and I'd like you to push that chest, those armpits closer to the floor or those legs. Really get into those shoulders. Beautiful. And walk those hands underneath those shoulders. Toe heel or heel toe. Those feet closer together. Keep your core engaged. And bring those feet right underneath those hip bones. Bend those knees generously. Shake out your head. Gently nod it. And let's come all the way up. Inhale. Circling those arms back and above. Looking up. Exhale, hinge forward. Coming up halfway. Inhale. Exhale, bend both knees. So those toes are right underneath those hip bones. You're bending those knees super generously. You shake out your head. You nod it. You wiggle your jaw. And let's straighten our left leg. And then switch. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. So just rotate back and forth. And maybe this is a good time, make sure that all of your props are within hand's reach, like a blanket, a block, a pillow, maybe a foam roller. And now I want you to add a little twist. So bend your left knee and just twist and look under your right arm. And switch, right knee, looking under left armpit. Pulling abdominals, so engaged. And do it one more time, right and left. Awesome. Now bend your left knee and walk those fingertips over to that left side. Drop your head. And return back to the center. Bend both knees. And then straighten your left, keeping your right bent. And walk those fingertips over to that right side. Pulling abdominals away from those thighs. Your head is heavy. You can shake it. You can nod it. And return back to the center. Bend both knees. Hands to the mat. Let's come down on one knee, then the other. Finding your tabletop, and actually we're going to get into those knees, so I ask you to walk those hands a little bit further than those shoulders, a soft bend in your elbows, pelvic floor is lifted, and all we're going to do is rear to heels and then back up, and then bend back down, touching that rear to the heels if possible. Mine doesn't. And maybe this time going past those wrists. So let's just get into those knees and wrists. Spreading those fingertips. I also want you to picture and do it. All your knuckles are pressing into the mat, taking all the strain on your wrists. All right, let's get freaky. So let's take this in a circle. In one direction. You can look up for a second if that helps. Beautiful, nice work. Keeping your abdominals lifted. Yes. And then when it feels good, I want you to reverse it. And then take any last movements that feel good to you. And then meet me back into your tabletop, pulling your abdominals away from the mat, spreading those fingertips, pressing all of the joints into the mat. And exhale, round through the spine, really lengthening those shoulders apart. And inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your heart, your chin. Exhale, round. Inhale. And do a few more with your own breath. And then meet me back into your tabletop, and let's sit back on those heels. Please sit on a blanket or block if your knees are like, not today, ma'am. These are great. You can take the pressure off your knees. Just roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And all I want to do is roll through those wrists a few times. If it feels good, sit on those heels. Stretch through those shins. Shake out those hands. Flick fingers. Circle your thumbs a few times. Play the piano. And meet me back into that tabletop. Spread those fingertips. Pull your pelvic floor. Tops of the feet are on the mat. They're pressing into the mat. And draw a circle with your tailbone. Another way. And return back to your tabletop. And let's bring that right hand underneath your face. And we're going to bend our left elbow, opening through the chest. So I'm doing it this way so you can see me. And then we exhale, thread it through. And do that a couple of times before settling in. I'm going to do it 3 times. And then on your third one, settle here. Really laying on that left ear. Maybe your right arm is above, lengthen out from your shoulder. I'm up on my fingertips to get more of an armpit, pec, shoulder stretch. You can have your palm flat on the mat. But what I'd like you to do is really press that left arm into the mat. And then even out those hips. So if you're really pressed over to that right side, even out those hips, press them to the left. And breathe. Bring that right hand underneath that right shoulder, press into the mat, and lengthen that left arm up nice and straight. Wiggle those fingers and bring yourself back down. Left hand underneath that face, bending that right arm at the elbow, opening up to that right side, and then threading through. I'm going to do 3 times with a bent arm. If you see smoke, yes, I am burning incense. Felt like today needed it. But everything is okay over here. And then resting on that right ear, taking those hips over to the right side, crawling that left arm above, out from the shoulder, maybe on your fingertips. Core engaged. And breathe, really pressing that right arm into the mat. Breathing. then slide that left hand underneath that shoulder. Press yourself up. Extend that right arm nice and long. Maybe your range of motion is better. Wiggle those fingers. Return back to the mat. Let's bring our big toes together. Widen those knees. Sitting back on those heels. And then I just want you to crawl those hands out in front of you. Really keep those rears, your buns to the heels, and walk the hands out. Stay on your fingertips, and then bring your forehead to a block or to the mat. Really widening through those shoulders, pulling abdominals away from the mat. And then bring those palms back to the mat. Draw them underneath those shoulders. Press into those hands. Press yourself up. Bring your knees together. Let's swing those legs around. And let's lay on down. Grab your blocks. Grab your blanket. And meet me on the ground. So I'd like you to wiggle as you're on the ground, on the floor. Wiggle between those shoulder blades. This is quite some music. Alrighty, support the back of your head. If your shoulders are tight, it may feel good to lay on a pillow, a block, or something to keep your head propped up. Feet flat on the mat, please. Wiggle between those shoulder blades. And then all I want you to do is bring those hands straight up. Pull your shoulders away from the mat and then let them fall back down. Lift away from the mat and fall back down. Bring your feet closer to your glutes. Press your lower back into the mat. Lift those hands away and lower shoulders to the mat. Open your arms out into a T or maybe a lowercase t. Wiggle those shoulders. Wiggle between those shoulders. And then let's all drop our knees to the left side. Let's keep our gaze looking up for a moment. Your right shoulder is heavy. And abdominals engaged, knees up. And over to that right side. Let the knees be heavy. Let everything be heavy. And return those knees back up. We'll add on to that, but before we do, I would like you to take your head, lift it, and place your left ear on the mat or on a blanket, just looking over your left shoulder. Check in with your abdominals, pressing your lower back into the mat. Shoulders are heavy. Breathe. And bring your head back up. Wiggle between those shoulder blades. And then take your head looking over your right shoulder. Nice and passive. Let gravity just pull you to the ground. The only thing you're engaging is pressing your lower back into the mat. And then return back up. Wiggle between those shoulders. Awesome. Let's lower those knees to that left side again. And you can stay here if you like, or you can lift that left foot and place that left foot on your right thigh. Getting more of a stretch, more of a bend. Maybe this feels good. Maybe you want a little bit more. Look over your right shoulder. As we stretch and find spaces in our body today, I just want to reiterate whatever is going on. You're safe to feel it all, and I appreciate you showing up today. One more deep breath here. Remove that foot. Bring your head to look back up. Core engage, knees return back to center. Let's bring our knees to our chest. A gentle rock back and forth, please. Circle those knees. Both direction. And find some stillness. Let's hug those legs. Inhale, bringing our trunk up off the mat. Give yourself a big ol' hug for showing up today. Or whatever reason you need a hug. And exhale, returning feet back to the mat. Lengthen those arms out to the side. And drop those knees to the right side. And then maybe lift up that right leg, right foot, place it gently on that left thigh to increase that stretch. And then maybe look over your left shoulder. Your shoulders are like so heavy you can't pick them up off the floor. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for sharing this moment. Take one more deep breath here. Release that foot. Return your head back up. And then knees. Drawing those knees into your chest, rocking back and forth. Circle those knees in both directions. Awesome. And let's put both feet on the mat, crossing left thigh over right, making a big old T again with those arms. Lift those hips, take them over to the left side, and drop the knees to the right, an even deeper twist. And then if it feels good, again, invite your head to look over your left shoulder. And breathe. Return your head back up and bring your knees back up. Align yourself nice and straight. Bring both knees to your chest, perhaps grabbing ankles. Maybe you can touch your knees, maybe shins, maybe toes. Keeping your tailbone nice and long, draw those knees towards your chest. Getting into the outside of that left hip. And gently lower that right foot. Lengthen that left leg, draw it into your chest. And straighten that left leg. Lengthen your tailbone. Circle that big toe in both directions. Point and flex. Beautiful. Bend that left knee. Lengthen that right leg out. Pressing through that heel, taking that right hand, lengthen your left arm out from your shoulder, and let's cross that left leg over to the right side. Another twist. So twisty today. I don't know, I'm kind of picturing today squeezing out like almost like a washcloth, squeezing out anything excess that we don't need. And if you have your hand on that left thigh, release it, straighten the left leg, and just straighten it and bring it back to the center. So your legs are straight out. Bring your arms above your head. Stretch in both directions. Beautiful. Both feet flat on the mat again. Wiggle between those shoulder blades. Press lower back into the mat. Cross right over left. Lift up those hips. Take them over to the right. Lengthen arms out straight from the sides. And let's lower both knees to that left side. So for me, I'm going to keep looking up. I'm not going to look over my right shoulder. But again, this is your workout. This is your stretch, your moment. Listen to your body. If it tells you to look over, do it. Take cues from your body. Not just cues of, ouchie, I better not do that, but cues of, oh yeah, that feels good. Engage your core, returning your knees back up to the center. Straighten yourself on the mat. Bring those knees close to your chest, but lengthen your tailbone, okay? So if your tailbone curls up, that's okay. Bring it back down. And just draw those legs close to your body however you can. By knees, by thighs, by ankles, by toes, or nothing at all, and just bring knees closer. Each side is different. Honor it. And release that left foot to the mat. Bend the right leg. Clasp it. Bring it close to your chest. Create a little compression. And then straighten, but keep a soft bend in your knee. Lengthen your tailbone and twirl that right toe. Point and flex. All the things. And let's straighten that left leg, pressing into that left heel. Bend your right knee. Take your left hand, open your right hand straight out from the shoulder, and let's twist to that left side. So I do want you to keep your right shoulder glued to the mat or heavy to the mat. So we're not forcing it. Today I'm feeling this in my right pecs more than my glutes or my IT band. Where are you feeling it today? One more breath here. Release your hand from your leg, straighten your leg, and just gently swing it down so it meets your straight left leg. Reach hands above your head, point those toes, take a full body stretch in both directions. Feet flat on the mat, grab a block. Press those hips up so you can use a block or a blanket. Sometimes blocks don't feel great because they're really pointy. So use what feels good. I'm not going past my tailbone. And all I want to do is open my hands out to the side, and I'm going to lower my knees to the left, back up to the right. Keep those abdominals engaged. And just windshield wiper them a few times. A little massage for your back. One more time each side. And then I want you to bring the bottoms of your feet together into your butterfly. And then I want you to pull your toes apart. So your bottoms of your feet are touching, but your toes aren't. Pressing your abdominals, your lower back into that block. Wiggle between your shoulder blades, wiggle your jaw. Two more breaths. Maybe using those hands to assist your legs to close. And take those feet as wide as the mat. And allow your knees to fall inwards. If they're repelling, that's okay. Just let them do their thing. And release, bringing those feet in alignment with those hips. Let's lengthen one leg and then the other. If not, if that doesn't feel good, if this is too much, listen to your body and do one leg at a time. I'm crooked on my mat, so I'm coming up. If it feels good, you can widen your heels as wide as the mat. Starting to feel that stretch, perhaps in your psoas. Arms are at the side, wiggle between those shoulder blades. Switch legs here if you have one bent and one straightened. And settle in for a few breaths on this side, or continue to settle in. And gently bring one leg. Take your time, bring the other. Press into both of the feet. Lift those hips and release back onto the mat. Draw knees to your chest. A gentle rocking side to side. And then roll onto one side and place that block underneath you, below your shoulders, and roll back onto it, open through the chest. Now I have my blanket to support my head. You can do the same. You can have your feet flat on the mat. You can have your feet long. Heels open wide as the mat. If it feels good, open your arms to the side, a chest opener. Sometimes this can be uncomfortable and it's hard to breathe. But I invite you to allow yourself to sink into this moment, whatever's arising. Breathing with your belly. I know I haven't said in the video, so I probably should if I air this later. Today is 9/11, and this is a day that can bring up a lot for so many people, including myself. So go with it, feel it, breathe. One more deep breath here. Beautiful work, my friends. Let's gently roll to one side, remove the block away from underneath you. And then I just want you to take one full body stretch in both directions. Oh yeah. Wiggle those hips, wiggle your shoulders. Roll to one side, meet me sitting on your buttocks. Grab a block, roller, blanket, whatever you need. I'd like to finish class today with a forward fold. Great way to release your lower back. And it's a great way to actually end the day as well. So like if you're doing stretches in the evening, add a forward fold. I like to keep this passive. I have my little foam roller. You can use a blanket or block or pillow. I'm going to keep those toes wider than hip distance width. Bend those knees, roll shoulders up, back, and down. Engage your core and lift. And exhale, hinge forward and right away round through the spine. Allow everything to release. Head is heavy, jaw is wiggling. One more breath here. Release anything that needs to. Release it here on the mat. Say adios, goodbye. Palms on the floor, pressing into the floor. Roll yourself up. Roll shoulders up, back, and down. Remove whatever's underneath your knees. Swing those legs behind you. Hands to the mat. Curl those toes along the mat. Lengthen those hands in front of those shoulders. Press those hips up and back. Another shake of your head gently. Right here, it's not important that your heels meet the mat. We're pressing our hips up, pressing chest down. One more wiggle of your jaw. Shake of the head. Super bendy knees, core engaged. And walk those feet forward in a ragdoll. Bend those knees generously. Grab opposite arms. Give yourself another gentle shake. Sway. And then release those hands to the mat. Shake your head, nod it, wiggle your jaw, your fingers. And press firmly into the mat. Take your time rolling it up. Roll shoulders up, back, and down. And standing with those feet right underneath those hip bones. Close your eyes. Roll shoulders up, back, and down. Lengthen your spine in both directions. Check in to see how your body's feeling in this moment. Gently bat open those eyelashes. And let's finish with breathing together. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, release. Do it again. Inhale up. Release anything you don't need anymore. One last time. Inhale, gather in all that space you created for yourself. Exhale, draw those hands to your heart. Bow your head in gratitude for showing up for yourself today. Thank you all so much for this moment in time. Te quiero mucho. Gracias. I love you so much. Thank you for your moment of time.